Hello, and welcome to Boot Camp Unit 6A, Place Value and Rounding Whole Numbers. We are going to be taking a look at quantifying just how big our numbers are, and we're going to try to be figuring out whether decimals are closer to one number or another. So the first thing to look at is the place value of digits. The numbers that you typically think of when you're thinking of adding zeros on things is going to give us the place value of each individual spot in that number. We have the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, and so on. You can actually take numbers like 564 and take that and break it down into its place values. There are 5 100s because it's in the hundreds place. There are 6 tens as it's 64, and 4 ones, as there's a 4 on the end. Use a comma to break up every 3 numbers. So then we want to figure out which numbers are closer to others. We want to round based on place value. The rule of thumb here is 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, leave it alone. So let's take 34 and round it to the nearest 10. How we do this is we look at the tens place and go one more place to the right. In this case, that's the 4. It's 4 and below, we're going to leave it alone and round it down to the next 10, 30. What does that mean on a number line? If you take a look at the bottom of this picture here, we're looking at round numbers between 20 and 30. So this would be your 21, your 22, your 23, your 24, and so on. So let's say we grab the number 22. Is that closer to 20 or to 30? It's closer to 20. It's 2 away from 20, and yet 8 away from 30. It's closer to 20, so we're going to round down to that 20. This is why we're adding all these zeros on the end. As we're rounding to the nearest 10, we want to make sure that everything past the tens place keeps it a nice multiple of 10. We can see this when we move on to the next example. Let's round 1,234 to the nearest 100. There is a 2 in the hundreds place. The next number over is a 3. 4 and below, leave it alone. We're going to leave that 2 alone and make everything else after that a 0. 1,200. That is a nice 100. Decimals have the same similar kind of rounding. Let's go to the tens place because that's very easy to draw. If we look at 11 and 12, I can make 10 dashes in between them, one for each tenth of a number. And we can figure out which decimal we have based on where we are on the number line. The first dash after 11, if we're going to the nearest tenth, would be 10.1. It is 11 and 1/10. The next one would be 11.2, or 11 and 2/10. You'll notice the word "and" here being used at the decimal point to separate the tenths from the rest of the number. Rounding, therefore, has the same kind of implication. If we have 11.3, that is closer to 11 than 12. So the nearest whole number will round down to 11. If we have 11.7, that's closer to 12 than it is 11, so we will round up to 12. That was Unit 6A, Place Value and Rounding Whole Numbers.